Now that we got that out the way, I'm gonna let y'all take it away.
I want to say the one time they invite us to the Oscars. This is what happened. The one time, just say, black people, you can come to the Oscars this year. We all like this in the back, like, hey, we at the Oscars.
No, I completely
Man,
agree. No, what I was
Okay.
gonna
go French Prince.
what I was gonna say was Will Smith looks absolutely bad. I couldn't believe. So when I got the notification on Facebook, the first thing I said was, I'm not gonna watch it. I have enough negativity going on in my life. We could be getting bombed at any second. I'm not gonna sit here and have the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, smack talk, beat up on Chris Rock. That doesn't even make sense. And then, of course, because we're all hooked on social media, the video found me, and I saw, I saw him give the hiya to Chris Rock.
He
No.
said, "Oh yeah."
I had to stop that video and put a slow mo just to see if it was real because I didn't know if it was a Saturday Night Live skit
Oh
or
my
like
gosh!
stage or something. But the way Will walked up, bam!
Hiya!
The point I saw Chris Rock's hand, he fisted his hand. I said, "Oh, this is real. This is real."
Let me ask you a question. Do you think it's more disrespectful that he slapped him in the face, or would it have been more disrespectful if he would have punched him in the face?
I think slap is more disrespectful.
The slap is more
I think slap
disrespectful.
is more
I
disrespectful.
think so too. It's almost like
Because it's like to me, when you get slapped, somebody's calling you a peasant.
right,
Shush,
right.
peasant. Like
And what made it worse is just the optics because Will Smith looks so much bigger than Chris Rock. So it's almost like he's like slapping a little child across the face.
this I don't get. Chris Rock is this doing comedian shit.
Hmm.
And me and Diamond spoke about it a little bit. He was laughing at the joke.
Right.
But you see Jade in the background. This is her.
And that's all it took. That's
Okay.
all it took.
Now,
That's just
for our
like, oh, boy.
for our audience, we really do not get into celebrity gossip on this podcast. We really don't.
This
But
one is is
this
something
one,
else.
we got a request, and we was like, all right, we're going to state our opinions on this one. That's you know what I'm saying. So,
Man.
I'm gonna help the audience to compare to Will Smith and Chris Rock situation. But TC and Iron continue.
So
Now I want to hear your opinion on this one because
yeah.
All right, so first off, I want to say shout out to Will Smith and Chris Rock for apologizing to each other. All seriousness,
it didn't really apologize to each other though. He just made an apology.
a public service announcement.
Yeah, he didn't even to Chris and be like, "Yo, my bad, fam. I slapped you like a bitch. My fault."
No, he
like,
posted an apology. He posted an apology on his Instagram a couple of hours ago.
Oh, come on. When you go on social media, you know what Chris Rock is. Like, yo, fam, I'm sorry.
So let's I really want to keep this real, right? Because mental health and all of that. This is why, man, we need shout out to Michelle, man. We need her on the podcast.
Right, let's see what the chart. I need the charts to explain how this grown 50-something-year-old man will beat up on another grown 50-something-year-old man. Where's the
I'll
chart?
tell you why Will did this though. He been getting so much slander.
Yes.
So much, especially with the whole entanglement thing happening.
Yeah.
Jada, her red table talking all this shit. And he's sitting there. I'm looking at him like, yo, Will, she make you look like a fool. Like, I'm not in your marriage. That's between y'all, but it looking too good for you, fam.
So I really want to get to the bottom of it, right? Because if you can see that people get their emotions the best of them.
Yeah.
And when their emotions get the best of them, there are consequences. And
Mm.
since there's consequences, you can see that after when Will Smith got his award, he was, crying and apologizing, is because he knew the consequences that was going to be handled.
Yeah.
And that's what happens to us human beings in a some of us in a daily basis. Like people have been in jail for a long time is because of 5 minutes of not controlling your emotions.
I mean, Will Smith could have actually gone to jail. He assaulted
Yeah.
someone on national TV, and Chris Rock
Yeah.
said, "No, don't touch him."
He's lucky. Chris said he's not gonna press charges. He's lucky.
So I'm just saying, just really think about this for a second, right? This is why meant like we need to we need to normalize therapy, talking to people, or just seeing how someone is doing.
Mm.
Mm.
Seriously, because having your emotions the best of you, like there's consequences once again. When you face consequences, consequences can face you for the rest of almost the rest of your life, or maybe 20. Yes.
Hear yourself again.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
All
I hear
right.
you.
So people have consequences, and when they face these consequences, it can hurt them for about like a long time.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. When it comes to consequences, here's a serious question: how much of this do you blame on Will? Like, how much blame does Jada Pinkett Smith get for this? I think it really might be 60-40 Jada. Like, I think Will have a lot of, I don't know, to have a lot of respect for Will Smith, but from the man that he's presented to the public, he seemed like an earnest man, somebody who is not afraid to get in touch with his emotions and speak candidly to his public, and he seems like a nice, well-to-do man. So for him to come to the edge about this and attack another human being off of a relatively innocuous joke, how much of that is stemming from the actions Jada took on sort of embarrassing the national TV?
Say that again, Naron. You was time traveling.
Oh man, how much was that time traveling? Like, did you hear me at all?
I heard you, but you time travel for a bit. You just went in and
Oh
out.
damn. No. To make a long story really short, how much of this do you put on Jada? What percentage of Will Smith's actions do you put on Jada?
One thing I will say, it shows you how human celebrities could be, because a lot of people put these celebrities on pedestals.
Mm-hmm.
So it shows you how human people could really be. And also to it, Jada, look, I'm not gonna say it's all her fault, but this is still Will's actions. But knowing that what he put out there in the public, he may not show that it's hurting him, but trust me, if you keep hearing the entanglement, damn, you gonna let her talk about Tupac in front of you like that? Yeah, she said, but this and that, that's gonna get to you at some point. And then with Chris making those jokes, and I don't know. It's just
So let's take from different scenarios, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's take people from New York versus people down south. Because from people down south, I actually get people that are, strangers be like, "Hey, how you doing?" Even when they get into when they're driving cars versus people from New York, if a stranger look at you wrong or if someone just looks at you in a default face, they're gonna be like, "What are you looking at?"
Yeah,
and then you get road rage and everything.
Yeah.
So are we the most emotional people ever? Is that the question? No?
No, I would say yes. It's just handle things very differently.
But let's really think about this for a second though. How many times have you pissed somebody off because of, and you don't know about it because the emotions got the best of you. Just think about that for a second. Come on. What about you, Naira?
Well,
I had a few moments. Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't. That's a tough one.
I had a few
All I'm gonna
moments.
say is,
Mm-hmm.
huh?
No, go ahead.
What are we gonna say, TC?
No, I was just going to say I had a few moments that I let my emotions get ahead of me. I caught myself, thank God, but it could have got very ugly.
Well,
Exactly.
Very ugly.
well, the most prevalent example I can think of is probably the most recent. It was about 5 6 months ago. Back when I was driving up
Say
there.
that again, Nairon.
How are you breaking up?
Oh, damn it! How bad is it?
You
Go
want
ahead,
to
Nairon.
enter
Continue.
back in and retry your connection?
Yeah, go on.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm.
retry your connection.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
That's the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, sorry about that, folks. A little bit of
All
audio
right.
issue.
Yeah, sorry about that, y'all. So Nairon's gonna come back. So sometimes I piss people off without even knowing it.
Oh, that's me.
And you know,
Yeah.
and I've definitely did hurt people with my words. And it came to a point where I was like, yo, sometimes I have to apologize, even when the past, like even people that your loved ones
Mm-hmm.
that you don't even know. So that's why we have to, set right and be like, oh, hold on, I apologize. Or that's why, like, when you're having an argument with your spouse and y'all get into a heated argument, there probably gonna be some things that uh you're gonna say that's gonna hurt her feelings
Mm-hmm.
because it's two emotions getting getting at each other. And then after that, it's gonna come to a point where it's like, all right, once you say that, once you say it, it's like there's no time traveling back.
Yeah, you can't take that back. That's it.
It's
It's
not.
tabooed. Yeah.
So now you two have to come to a place. And also it's important to have alone time. So when it's important to have alone time, that's when you come back when you two are ready and say, listen, I apologize. Even when it comes to friends.
Yes. We
Yep,
all need that personal space at times because you had to allow yourself to express your own emotions sometimes in your own space.
exactly.
And I fall victim of it. I'll say let's say somebody gets on my nerves,
Hmm.
the pettiness in me will come out and I will intentionally say something to cut your heart, with my words. And I
Yep.
don't feel no shame of it at the moment because it's like, damn, sure, you evil at that point. So when I realized I stopped being like that, I said, you know what? Let me walk away now before things get serious.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's why it's always, and you hit it right in the nail, because it's always to choose your battles wisely and choose the words that you say, because words are definitely powerful.
exactly.
So when, if you examine that, when the emotions got the best of him, he could have went to jail. Money could have been taken away from him. The awards would have been taken away from him. So
He's
there are things that are consequences that you have to really think about. This is why logic is best than emotions, because once again, emotions can set off consequences.
exactly. Let me break it down this way. Emotions is a good motivator.
Yeah,
It's a good thing to push you forward, but at the end of the day, you'll need logical sense behind emotions. If you run on
exactly.
pure emotions, you're gonna fuck up. Sorry to say it like that. Crash and
Exactly.
burn.
Exactly.
You
And
know,
there's some things that people have done that cost them the rest of their life. People have got their emotions the best of them, and it cost them their life.
Tory Lanez, does he count?
All right. How does my connection sound now? Am I
You're
still
good. You're good, Myron.
Yeah, you sound good. Yeah, you good.
But
Okay.
yeah, we let our consequences get the best of us, and just really, and I want our listeners to really think about this too. Like, this is why mental is important. This is why I said it a long time is important. Michelle, what you watching this? This is why mental health is important. Thank you, seriously, for that mental health point, definitely. But anyways, actually, Nyron, was there times where you hurt someone's feelings and you didn't even know about it?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a legend when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I got so many instances. I think the most recent one I could think of was I was at a party. I was at a party.
You was at a party, and then what else happened, Nyron? You're time traveling again.
Oh my God! You know what? I think I'm gonna try to use my phone instead. I'll be back, fellas.
Okay.
Woo,
I'm
this is
pretty sure the audience understand. It's just one of those days.
Oh man. Yo, Nyron. Woo, you are the wild card officially.
Definitely is.
So when I'm driving, right? When people drive, people have road rage.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes when someone has road rage, there are consequences to that road rage. So you can get emotional, but just remember, when you get to that emotional standpoint, when you're driving, it's either you're going to be like, nah, I'm going to let this person, I'm going to cut this person off, or I'm going to do this to this person. Next, what happens if you cause a crash? Then what's going to happen?
And you also
Word. That's crazy. More importantly, how's my connection this time? I don't want to lose myself again. Please.
You're good.
You sound good. You sound better.
Yeah, you got better.
All right, so I got to use my phone from now on whenever we do these things.
All right, go ahead, Nyron.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah. So I was at a party, and I'm not going to divulge names, but there was a person at the party who, from my perspective, obviously presented as someone that is of the homosexual community. And I had my girlfriend there, and I was just like, "Hey, just from your perspective, how hot is my girlfriend?" That was the question I asked this person that I thought happened to be a lesbian. So like, it was just sometimes, hey, from your perspective, from the lesbian perspective, like, how hot is my girlfriend? And I thought it was lighthearted and funny, and I didn't even think anything of it. A week later, the same people I went to the barbecue with, I haven't heard from them for like a whole week. And they're like, oh, what's going on? I call them up and they're all talking to me as if I was like the worst person at the barbecue. Like I hurt that person's feelings so bad and I embarrassed myself and yada, yada, yada. All from what I thought was an innocuous joke. It was the craziest thing. But that was the last time
You had a Chris Rock moment.
I guess so. I guess nobody came up to slap me, but I just
imagine.
I'm just saying, I couldn't believe that my words could have affected somebody like that, especially to somebody that presented as if they belonged to that community. You know what I mean? I really didn't think I stepped on anybody's toes, and I regret it from the standpoint of not being, I guess, mature enough to take hold of the situation that I was in. I just made a lot of assumptions.
I don't blame you fully, because if you kind of present yourself in that community, it's like, okay,
yeah.
Community.
That's like the obvious thing, but I've been racking my brain about how I played this wrong, and I still don't necessarily know if I know all the manners in which I played it wrong. What I learned was that I shouldn't assume that somebody's comfortable with who they are,
or I shouldn't assume that somebody is of a community if they don't flat out tell you that, hey, I'm
You
part
know,
of
what way
this
you compare
community.
it to? It's like somebody come up to you. Let's say a white guy come up to you. You'd be like, you know who Ja Rule is? You'd be like, why? Oh, you know, because you're black. You know, you should know about practice.
Right.
Like, okay, like,
Right. The same thing. I think that's what I did. I think that's what I did.
Basically,
Yeah.
what you did. Yeah.
Mhm.
That sucks.
So, yeah. But it was a growth. It was a growing experience. You know, nobody ended up being punched. It was an honest mistake, and it's something that I learned from going forward. You know, so
That's interesting.
That's definitely interesting. Definitely. Okay.
A reaction from that person too, but I get it, but I don't blame you fully. Like, yeah,
it was an honest mistake, but it was a mistake that will prevent me from making said mistakes in the future.
yeah.
It was a tough line. It still is a tough line. It's tough to wrap my brain around, but I've accepted it for what it is.
You're lucky kind of happened now before it happened with somebody else, and it could have been more serious.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
A crowd of people you really don't know, and they could be like, "This is a hate crime," and
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's cancel him.
Consequences.
Yeah.
See, consequences. Come on now, consequences.
Yeah.
Oh, I got an even better one. I've got an even better one for you. Consequences. So I was a teenager. I must have been about 13, 14 years old.
Okay.
And I just started getting into basketball. And when you're playing defense, you know, certain guys have certain weaknesses. So I'm defending this one guy on the basketball court, right? And we're all moving really fast. So, you know, we're running back and forth, up and down, playing 21. And I just learned the phrase one-handed bandit. One-handed bandit means that, you know, you can really only dribble or use one hand when you play, you know. So like somebody's a righty, you can't really go left. Or if you're a lefty, you can't really go right. And you're easier to defend. So we're all playing 21, and, you know, this guy is going wherever he wants, but he's only using his right hand. So I'm like, we got a one-handed bandit. And mind you, we were playing for hours, right? And I would say we have a one-handed bandit for hours. So the game is over. You know, I'm still talking by smack. I go to give him that, and I use my left hand. And when he really uses his left hand, all you saw was a stump. So, so when I said we had a one-handed bandit, I had no idea that he really did have one hand. You know what I mean? And it's those moments. It's those moments that, you know, make you realize you got to think before you say things.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
Damn.
I think part of the reason why
you felt like shit. I know you felt like shit.
No, I didn't. Honestly, no. I honestly didn't. I still don't. I honestly thought it was astonishing because he was moving so fast. He was moving so fast.
You saying that? He didn't look at you any way? He didn't
Nobody said anything. Nobody said a thing. Nobody said a word. And
but
I think part of the reason
he was hiding his stuff, like.
No, I think part of the reason is because he was moving so fast. And, you know, when you're dribbling so fast that you honestly couldn't tell that he was missing a hand the whole time. And he was, you know, he was busting everybody's ass. He was doing really well, but I just noticed he could only use his right hand dominantly. So I'm just thinking, oh man, he can't go left. When the reality was, you know, he was missing a whole left hand. It was nuts.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
I know.
Ooh.
Wow.
Consequences.
Consequences. You see the little rainbow be underneath it.
Consequences. Yeah, man.
Wow. Wow.
But I honestly think it's just a testament to how great he was on the court. I really didn't know. I didn't know until the game. I didn't know. I think he either won or he came close to winning, and I still did not know the man was literally missing a hand. I think that's part of the reason why he wasn't upset, because he knew I couldn't tell he was missing a hand. You know what I mean?
I still get that nickname to this day.
And the thing was, you're playing basketball, so I'm talking shit. You got a one-handed bandit, and he's talking his mess. Oh, you're too slow, and he's talking his ish. I'm talking my ish. But it turns out I was just really accurate with the one-handed bandit.
Lucky is a good sport because, or anybody else would instigated on that.
Yeah. No. Yeah. But those are like the key pivotal moments where you got to realize sometimes you got to think before you speak.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, there you go, Naron. Think before you speak.
Yeah.
There you go.
A lot of people make mistakes like that too, not thinking before you speak.
Yes.
Yeah.
Emotional intelligence.
Emotional damage.
A lot of emotional damage. Oh man.
Oh my God.
A lot of people think with their emotions than logic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is why you need to take logic. That's why it's logic over emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Because emotions, once again, has consequences.
Yeah.
So, Will Smith, Jada, this can be a learning process.
Here's the thing about Will. He's lucky he won his Oscar, didn't get taken away. I won't be surprised. I don't think it's going to damage his reputation, but he is going to be known for this for a long time. Like how Kanye West did the whole Taylor Swift thing.
Yes.
It's going to be similar to that.
I mean, this is 10 times worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson Super Bowl incident. It's going to be like on that level now.
Yeah, it is.
So
what I think is, I think in terms of like levels of embarrassment, right? Because I think Kanye West and Will Smith are comparable in that when I think of Kanye West, I think about how he's embarrassing himself with the whole Pete Davidson situation. And I compare that to Will Smith embarrassing himself at the Oscars. You just lose all control in front of all of America, and you literally assaulted somebody on TV.
I wonder if Jada never had that Red Table show and never said the bullshit he said, will reacted the same way he did yesterday.
I guarantee you he would not. And part of the reason is because all of America is not in his business. It's bad enough that everybody knows about your open arrangement. That's embarrassing in and of itself because you have the memes on top of memes on top of memes. But it almost seems like you're dealing with that while your wife is totally oblivious to how you're feeling about all of this, while all of America understands how you feel.
And you know what?
Huh?
I was just gonna say, you know which memes I've seen? It'd be Jada. She's like this. She said, "Oh, Tupac could have done it better."
I mean,
yo,
how wicked is that?
Is undefeated, and it takes time, but you just have to turn off. Yo, internet is undefeated.
The point Martin Lawrence reposted the video, I say, "Ooh, you bad boy for life."
Reposted the video.
Y'all would be bad boys for life. What's going on?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, in conclusion to everything for what I said, we all are a work in progress.
Wait a minute. I might have missed it while I was gone. Did anybody else have consequences, or did I just give my consequences?
Well, I mean, talked about
briefly, I did talk about myself. Yes, I did. Like, I sometimes did piss people off without even knowing it. Like
So do
when
we
I
have a
was,
story behind that, or am I the only jackass that gave two stories?
I mean, when I was with
I
my
had a band
ex,
that's all you.
when I was
Oh,
with my ex, that I what? See, the thing about me is I'm a very debatable person.
We know.
So if you come,
We
so
know
if you come off as like you say something or towards your feelings, if you get your emotion towards me, I'm going to hit you with logic. Then I'm going to hit you with that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense to me at all. And when this was like years ago, but I wasn't think of it that way. I wasn't think of it as like, okay, so this is the way how she feel, then I should respect her feelings and what can we do about this?
You see,
I
fuck up.
got the consequences of myself to debate about how she feel about me.
you know
Because
what, Rick?
I'm a very
Let me
debatable
say
person
something. Let me say something real quick.
overall.
You see, I'm working on that because usually I say fuck all that. You can say all the shit you want to me. Expect me to be quiet and be like, you know what, you're right. No, I'm gonna have my opinion. But here's the
Facts.
problem with
That's me
myself
too.
now.
That's me.
My problem is I'll keep going on. I won't shut the fuck up about it.
Mm.
And another thing, you be saying this and that. It's just like, damn, try you did your damage. Damn. And I sometimes I just sit there and be like, you know what? Is it even worth it having this argument right now? Just let her say her words and you just like, look, shrug it off and just go do your thing. But no, like if somebody's gonna say something to me, I always feel like I had to like say something because it's like I'm a man at the end of the day. I'm not gonna let anybody, a male or female, talk down to me.
Yep.
So I think it's just a big pride thing for myself. But I had heard people saying certain things when I go on my tangents, and I'm working on that.
Yeah, definitely same here. What man? Listen, if y'all get to years ago me, if I be on Facebook, social media, I'll be commenting like, "What? Nah, let me
Oh,
debate with this person real quick." That's
I'm
me.
hold on. I'm making that feel a little better. I had a little, somewhat similar situation.
All right.
The consequences got me blocked. Remember that. But continue.
This is kind of
You
fucked
know,
up.
wait. Before you continue, TC, Rich, I have to commend you. You gave a whole example without giving any specifics. You gave a whole example without giving an example. That is classic Rich. That is
You know
unbelievable.
how to go
I
between
feel
the
like
lines. Yeah.
I feel like I'm the only one that I put myself out there on the line, right? Talking about my learning experiences with consequences. And meanwhile, you're just like, yo, there was this thing with this incident, and this thing happened. And when this thing happened, consequences. That's what you basically did.
I was about to say the same thing to me. So let's say I was probably 17 years old. So it used to be a guy that my mom and me know that works in the area.
Mm-hmm.
So one day, he always had dreads and stuff, cool guy. So one day we walk in and I see he had cut his hair.
Mm.
Oh, you got a haircut. I said, okay. And he kind of just looked at me. He kind of just smiled like, eh. So I was just like, oh, that's weird. Then my mom, after we finished speaking to him, my mom's like, yo, he got cancer. I was like,
Oh, wait a minute.
oh.
You know what? I think your cancer story beats my
Yeah, because you just like it wasn't a good ending, but
oh my gosh. How did you feel?
I felt like shit.
Oh my gosh.
The main thing about it, like, if
That's
person cut their hair, that means they either go and do something or they're sick.
That's bad. That's bad.
My dumb ass is like, I see you got a haircut today. Yeah,
Wow.
you got a little shape up. You see, I see a little part inside.
Consequences.
Yeah. Like, oh, I fucked up. I'm sitting there like, ooh, God strike me with thunder now. That's how I felt.
But you see, where do you draw the line though? Like, do you have to assume that somebody has cancer and therefore you shouldn't compliment them on a haircut.
I
You know what I
just
mean?
learned.
Because all you saw was a haircut.
I just
All
learned. If you see something that don't seem kind of right, just shut the fuck up.
Well, that's the thing. How are you supposed to know? How are you supposed to know that wasn't right?
I didn't know, and I don't blame myself fully. But I did feel like crap. That's just like, oh, that's fine.
Well, back to my one-handed story. Part of the reason why I didn't feel like crap is because number one, the guy was really busting all of our asses, and number two, I literally couldn't see his left hand until we were done playing basketball because we were moving that fast.
You know, not to make joke of it, your guy's still alive. That sadly
Yeah.
passed away, so it's just like,
Oh my gosh, you must feel even worse.
I felt bad, and he's always nice to me. Like I didn't disrespect him, but I disrespected him that moment, not realizing.
You know, going back to the concept of consequences. Another thing I've made the mistake of when somebody sounds ambiguous on the phone, like a telemarketer or somebody, a tech person that's like asking that you're calling up asking for help on a laptop or a Best Buy. Somebody might sound like they're either a man or a woman, and then you assume the wrong gender. That's happened to me at least 5 separate times where I would say, say, thank you very much, man. Thank you very much for your help, ma'am. And he'd be like, sir, my name is John. And then, you have to go throughout the entire conversation knowing that you completely misgendered somebody,
Yeah.
Sir, I have a penis, okay? My name is
And suddenly my package that was supposed to come tomorrow takes a week to come. You know what I mean? Yeah. I wonder why. Consequences.
Mm-hmm.
Consequences. Yo, that's the name of the podcast. Consequences.
You needed.
I'm gonna put this in the title, y'all. Consequences.
Yeah, put like a little rainbow in the exclamation point.
Just like with you with your assumptions on cancer and me with my assumptions on the left hand, Chris Rock made an assumption that Jada Pinkett Smith, just wanted to keep her hair short, wanted to keep the G.I. Jane. It was a logical assumption. He doesn't know Jada Pinkett Smith well enough to assume she has alopecia. So he just made a simple innocuous.
I didn't even know that.
Huh?
I didn't even know that.
Right, nobody did. I mean, who's really gonna know that?
What did she a shaved head? I was like, okay.
So him being smacked was consequences.
Chris Rock being smacked was consequences, but he didn't deserve those consequences.
Like that's something
he
that
didn't deserve those consequences.
Agree with me, but I feel like it's something she could still handle herself if she spoke up.
Yeah,
because
she did. That's the thing, TC. She did. She spoke up to Will. And then Will took matters into his own hand.
The thing is, you telling people that he don't love you like this, and it's just like you talk so much shit about this man, like disrespecting him in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And be like, well, playing a man role, go handle business, and like he did.
Because here's the thing. When Chris Rock made that joke and you saw Will Smith laughing, I contend that was an honest laugh. He was literally, I think he was seriously laughing with the rest of us. And his mood changed instantaneously when his wife looked at him and said, he insulted me.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, he's no longer with the rest of the crowd thinking that it's just a...
Get him, boy. Like, right.
Huh?
I feel like Jada said, sick him, boy.
Yeah, that's basically what she did. Because you know how I don't mean to compare Will Smith to a dog, but you know how somebody can flip from happy to sad or from glad to mad at the expense of someone else?
Yeah.
I think that's what we saw in real time. I think Will Smith was laughing with the rest of us, and once he saw that his wife was upset, then he became upset. That he, went up.
We didn't even talk when he started dropping the F-bomb.
He dropped the F-bomb. He dropped the F-bomb after the assault.
Yo, I'm saying he's like one of the most PG actors out there. Hearing him just throw that out, I was just like, yikes. He needed Uncle Phil at that moment.
Well, I mean
let's really be honest here. Let's say if it was a stranger, just come up to Chris Rock and just smacked him. Security would have been on him.
Oh yeah.
Cops would have been on him. He would have got arrested. And it wouldn't look good for him.
Mm-mm.
Consequences.
Consequences.
Yeah.
So
But here's the thing, though. I don't think Chris Rock deserved those consequences. I don't think he did. Even
Yeah.
Hmm?
No, go ahead.
No. Even when they were referencing his 2016 joke about Jada not being invited to the Oscars, I still don't think that warrants the level of violence that he faced. And I think Chris Rock comes out looking like a bigger, better man because he kept the program going. He kept the Oscars pushing. He didn't even fight back. I know at that moment, everything he could have drug up that we all know about the Smiths' marriage. You know what I mean? And as a comedian, as a professional comedian, he could have rained hellfire on him, just slandering his good name and bring up everything that we all know. But instead, he composed himself.
Yeah.
And he kept it pushing. I mean, he displayed, in that instance, he displayed how a man acts to add to adversity. And at that same moment, I believe Will Smith showed what it's like when a man loses control.
I'm low-key disappointed in Will because the thing is,
Low key, high key. There's no low key here.
is the thing is,
well,
it should never got to that still. Chris is still doing his job. He is comedian. That's what he does. Comedians are not there to be your best friend. They're going to say what they're going to say. It's material. And the point that you was laughing, but as soon as she's made a face, you got to go up and slap him, is never warranted.
So let me ask you both a question. Let's say if Chris Rock knew that Jada Pinkett had an illness, do you think he
wouldn't have made that joke? He wouldn't have made that joke.
I say make it fun somebody who has leukemia or cancer, some stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's distasteful. That's not very funny,
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yep.
Like you can make fun of, let's say you can make fun of 50 Cent getting shot 9 times. He survived.
Technically, if Chris Rock could have made that same joke to Lupita Nyong'o because she always keeps her hair short, and I don't think anybody would have batted an eye.
No,
it's all because
the truth he's speaking.
Huh?
It's just the truth he's speaking.
Right.
Yeah, like how are we supposed to know Jada's even having issues? She posts all her other business out there. How are we supposed to know about that?
Man, listen. If this was old school comedy, nobody is safe.
Man, Bernie Mac was there.
It's all.
It was a rap. It was a rap. Some milk cookies.
Let me ask you this: you think Chris Rock is coming out with another stand-up special anytime soon?
I think in the stand-up special, he's going to talk about it. My opinion.
He's going to talk about it. Dave Chappelle is going to talk about it at some point. Yeah, them too. I'm looking forward to.
Consequences. Kevin Hart probably might have a thing or two to say. Steve Harvey, I'm sure, is going to have a thing or two to say. I don't think I would love to speak to the people that thought Will Smith was in the right on this. Because when I go on social media, I look at people that say Will Smith is protecting his woman and he's doing what a man is supposed to do. Don't besmirch anybody's honor.
But that's people thinking emotionally. That's not people thinking logically of the consequences.
Here's the thing: Will could cuss out Chris Rock because he didn't need to touch him. That's the biggest thing. He smacked the man. There's no need for that.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
He could have cussed him out. Everything. Look, do your thing. But so you put hands on him. Chris had all right to punch the shit out of him too.
And that's why I give Chris Rock so much credit because he didn't.
Yeah,
he didn't.
Yeah.
So just think about the consequences that you're going to have when you're in a professional environment, when you're at work, and someone said something, that hit your skin. There's times when a coworker said something that hit my skin. I mean, did I come out and no?
Let me tell you something. Will lost a couple of brand deals already. He ain't gonna work for Disney. He ain't gonna work for Disney or Marvel because if you realize with Disney, they don't play that shit. If you got outside drama, they're not bringing you into their little umbrella. So you're not gonna see no Will Smith in no Marvel movies, that's for sure.
I mean, don't forget this guy was the genie in Aladdin.
He
He's
ain't
so good.
no more.
So let me ask y'all a question, right? What happened if we would have said something that was in this podcast that we had to face some consequences? What do you think how that would have went?
Well, thankfully, we're so small. I don't think anybody's really trying to cancel us.
Here's
I
the
think
thing about that, Ron. Even though we're small, when we get big, let's say we make a next mistake and say something, people will literally go into the history of the
us.
podcast and
Yes, they
find
would.
something. That's what they do on Twitter. They'll
Yep.
find something. Well, you said this about such and such woman, and it's just like, oh boy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Well, thankfully, I don't think anybody here has said anything too outrageous.
It would just be you, honestly.
It would be me.
Just
Right?
be
It
you.
would be me. I'm really thinking hard about anything I've said. Right? There's nothing. They can't think me with anything.
Diamonds is hype man. I'm the middle man. You the wild card.
Yes.
Well, the wildest thing I ever said was, "How's the sex?" to a couple that, to be quite frank, should be having good sex. So I don't think I was alone.
Bro, you're like Johnny Bravo. You hit on every female that comes on the show.
Pretty much. Except for the
Listen.
ones that are in relationships and married.
Well, because I have respect.
Well, yeah.
If Will Smith taught us anything, it's that you don't talk about another man's wife.
Yeah, absolutely correct. You don't.
Yeah.
That's consequences.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to get rocked.
You tried it.
Oh God.
You tried it.
I'm done.
No,
I'm done.
nobody wants to get rocked.
Wow, we're almost in the hour, y'all. So consequences. Anything y'all have to say after this?
Will Smith looks bad. I don't know him personally, and I don't know him well enough to say that I've lost respect for him. But what I can say is that he showed a side of himself that was ugly at an age where you would think he would have been more composed, and as a result, my image of him has been tarnished.
Well, he did set on social media publicity, and he hold himself accountable. Just like we all, and just like he said, he is a work in progress, just like we all are a working progress.
And my thing is, for me, for one, I don't put people on pedestals, especially in Hollywood.
Yeah.
I always like Will Smith because he's a great actor, no doubt. One of the greatest actors out there. But seeing him do this, it also reminds you, like, he's still human. He's not grounded like everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, he can show you how people could still mess up your mindset in life, no matter how much money you have.
Mm-hmm.
This is a big mistake he made, and did I like seeing it? No. I'm not going to say, like, yeah, I love seeing him smack Chris Rock, because I like Chris Rock my damn self. You know, but like Diamond may say, it's consequences, and he's got to answer to it.
Yep, just like when a man think with his, and just want to get in, and just want to be like, yeah, I want to do this, and next thing you know, for the rest of your life, you're dealing with someone that you have a kid with, but that's a whole nother different consequence.
And that's not, and people say you only go through 18 years.
There's something there's something we haven't really spoken about. One aspect of it that I want to elaborate on, and it's the black on black violence that's publicized in the classiest.
That's a good one.
In the classiest venue in all of cinema, right?
Okay, so explain yourself to the audience, Naron, even though to me personally, the whole word of the black on black stuff, that's deep. I'm not going to get into it.
Well, it's not like Will Smith did this on the street, I mean, granted, it would still be wrong if he rolled up to Chris Rock while he's going on a morning run, let's say, and then he knocks him out. No, he waited. He not waited, but he did this in the most well-renowned stage amongst the elite of the elite when it comes to acting and cinematography, There are so many black people that have broken strides to put Will Smith in a position to get an award like that. You know, Sidney Poitier, may he rest in peace, Harry Belafonte, and a slew of other actors, right, and a slew of other actors and actresses that have paved the way and were the symbols and epitome of you got to be twice as good to get half as far. Every single one of those people that I've listed showed a level of class and poise and decorum that allowed us to be in a space and allowed us to shine in a space that we've been denied from for so many years. And here we are in 2022 with all of that legacy behind us. And here you are at the peak of your career, about to receive an award that you probably knew beforehand you were going to receive, something prestigious, something that less than 5 black people in all of Hollywood has attained. And you choose that moment to attack another black man who has come up through the ranks, who only had a high school education, but took his life experiences and turned his tragedy into a well-renowned career. You took that man that has nothing but class and dignity outside of his comedic sketches. You chose to attack him in front of all of these white people that didn't want us to be there in the first place. You know what I mean? That's the moment you choose to attack another black man. You made us all look bad at that moment.
Yep.
You know, you made us all look bad.
I jokingly spoke about it in the beginning, saying, "This like, damn, the one time you invite black people to the Oscars." But it's very true what you said, because now you're seeing a lot of our people in the Oscars, and like Myron just said, not much of us won an Oscar award. This is
right.
Big. This is big, and I heard that
it's still big.
Yeah, you know, and let's be serious. Like, it wasn't that serious for you to smack the man.
No.
And now we always, it's sad enough. People look at us as monkeys already. Now they're gonna look at us like, oh boy, it's monkeys with suit and ties now with Oscars. It's like,
you know what? One of the first things I thought was that there are some people in that crowd are thinking, you see what happens when you let them into the Oscars? You know, that's the first thing.
I don't usually want to say it, but I'm gonna say this. I'm pretty sure it's a white guy that looked like he sells liquor. He said, "You see, Margaret, the fucking niggas at it again." I'm telling you.
Right.
I'm telling you. That's exactly what happened. The thing was messed up. Will and Chris, they're not the same person, but they probably have the similar upbringings.
Yeah.
And that's what's sad. You guys come with somewhat of a same background, just from different cities.
Yep. Wrong person, wrong environment, wrong place.
That's one thing. That's why I lose respect for Will Smith, because he made us look bad as a collective.
Yeah.
I don't know him personally. I don't know him well enough. I don't know him personally enough to condemn him. But what I will say in terms of my respect for him, just as an actor, for his image, it loses some of its gravitas because of the way he conducted himself on the highest of all stages.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
How many people sacrifice careers working in Hollywood, getting rejected over and over and over again for the color of their skin, being told that they don't comport themselves the right way, being told that people like us don't act in a way that's suitable for a role that's designed for somebody more dignified. All of these people sacrifice their careers and have paved the way for you to receive something like this. And it's like you spit in the face of all of that the moment you decide to attack somebody that looks like you over something that was relatively harmless.
Yeah.
You know?
Let me ask you a question. Did Denzel ever won an Oscar?
Who?
Denzel Washington.
He won it for Training Day.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah. Sidney Poitier.
Yeah.
Denzel. I think it's Will Smith. I think it's those three. I can't think of another black man.
Anybody else? I know Sidney Poitier won one.
Mm-hmm.
But anything else, I think it's not much. And don't even get started. I'm pretty sure no black females even won an Oscar before.
Yeah. I mean, you have to realize we live in America, and as a result, there are a lot of spaces where you being black doesn't just represent you as an individual, but it represents your people as a collective. You know,
Yeah.
And
This is a very historical moment, and we may joke about it, make memes about it, because I'm not gonna lie, it's funny, but it's sad at the same time.
Yeah.
It really is, and it really does set us backwards again. Because now people is going to portray us as like we can't even go nowhere.
right. I mean, there are so many people in media who are black that portray this violent persona, right? Where you would expect them to do something like this.
Yeah.
But for the guy that played the nice guy his entire career, Will
Summertime,
Smith,
summertime.
summertime. For summertime to do that, that's what makes it worse. Because if summertime could do that, people with racist notions could say, "You see, even the nice ones can't control themselves." You know, I could see how they could come to that conclusion based on this.
Rainbow losing is cool. Like,
Guys, we are in our 1 hour mark.
yeah, it's honestly it's not much to say. It's just it sucks.
This is definitely worse than Kanye Swift and Kanye West and Taylor Swift. It's definitely worse than that.
Yeah,
For sure, right?
Kanye is just he needs help.
I respect Kanye though. Kanye's my guy.
I think this is worse. This is worse than the Justin Timberlake, Janet Jackson moment.
Oh, that was years ago. What? How old were we?
You probably like 12.
Right?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Consequences.
Kanye as an artist, I'm gonna respect. Kanye as a person at times, I can't get behind him all the time. Him as an artist, I'm not gonna like I say I'm not gonna listen to this music ever again. Kanye be dropping hits after hits.
Yeah.
You know, College Dropout is one of my favorite albums of all time. Do the Wire? What?
Graduation was a hit though.
When he spoke about slavery was a choice and all that stuff, I had to look at him and be like, "This ain't it, Chief."
That's what. That's where you start the separation.
Yeah,
of the artist.
The whole manga
from the art.
Yeah, it's just. I know he needs help because he goes through a lot of mental health and stuff, but especially
I don't know.
Now from Kim.
In terms of black celebrities that I'm disappointed in, I mean, I don't know if we consider her a celebrity, but Candace Owens is up there. Candace Owens, Janine Pirro.
Wow.
Janine Pirro, that sounds familiar. What she's in?
Judge Janine Pirro, she's on Fox News. If you don't know her work, I don't recommend it. Black celebrities that I don't really respect. O.J. Simpson. I wouldn't even say Tiger Woods. No, Tiger Woods isn't on that list. But you know, there's very few.
What?
My man is just ranting now. My man is just ranting.
Tiger Woods just got caught. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't hate Tiger. Tiger got sloppy. That's all.
Yeah. No. I don't want to say Tiger Woods is a bad guy. He's a bad husband, but he's not a bad guy.
Yeah, that's a different story. The glove didn't fit. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But OJ is different, right? And I think after them, Will Smith. Like Will Smith is officially in that category for how he made it so terrible at the Oscars.
Mm-hmm.
It's sloppy.
So it's
sloppy.
Talk
about full representation of a race
at the Oscars. That's the whole.
And the reason why I'm so hard on him is because he's 53 years old. You know, and if you ever take a look at his posts, he's always about being positive and never giving up, and being positive and never giving up, and the potential is out there. You gotta spread goodness and love. Even in that speech he gave, you gotta spread goodness and love as she's crying on stage. Meanwhile, you know, somebody made a bad joke about your wife who has alopecia, and you went off the rails. Instant respect loss.
I wonder if
he did get out of character, and sometimes we do get out of character. Even the most motivational speakers get out of character.
But at 53, Rich,
I wonder
what can somebody do to you at 53 when you're worth $500 million?
The age is
you know what I mean?
Remember that.
Say that again?
Age is just a number. Remember that. Because people's gonna make mistakes when they in
I
this.
think Will Smith showed that. I really think Will Smith showed that. Age really is just nothing but a number, because what he did is something I expect a 23-year-old to do, not a 53-year-old. You know?
Yeah.
All right.
Summertime.
All right. Is there anything else y'all want to rant about? Because y'all going off today. If not, we're going to close it out.
All I gotta say to the audience: think before you do your actions. Sometimes the consequences can be very heavy, and you can never walk away the same.
Absolutely.
Especially driving too. Oh, don't let that road rage hit you. It's for our people. We already live in the system is against us. So always remember that. Just think before you speak and do your actions.
Yeah.
That's all I can really say. Because you can either hurt yourself, take time away from your life, or kill somebody by accident. So
there's actually a movie, back in the day movie. It was with the main actor was Q-Tip. How he was fighting Fat Joe. I forgot the name of it. And Fat Joe, when he was, when he was acting, he died, and then Q-Tip went to jail because of the consequences. I forgot what movie it was. But it's an old school movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But it was a movie though. I forgot what it was called. Yeah.
There's a couple of actors.
Consequences.
There's a couple of actors and actresses that live with consequences to this day. I'm pretty sure people forgot Brandy when she got in that car accident and she killed that person by mistake.
I never knew this.
Oh wow, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, look it up. Brandy car accident. This is years ago.
And now that's probably haunting. That's probably haunting her for a very long time.
Of course, because you took somebody's life, even though it wasn't your intentions, you still took somebody's life.
Oh, was she under the influence or something?
I can't remember. I think she wasn't. I think it's just like a freak accident that happened that she had to be cause of. Yeah.
Yes. So just remember that there's rules that, like, when you're drinking and driving, and then look to see what happens when you're drinking and driving. There's consequences to that. When you don't have a seatbelt on, there's consequences to that. There's always consequences to something.
Yeah.
So always think about that.
And one thing too.
Yes.
I know it's elementary, not really, but let's say you are drinking. Don't be the warrior. Be like, I could drive home. It's okay.
Nope.
People still on the road with you. People can't predict your movements. You could get hit in an accident, you end up taking somebody's life, and you will forever live with that. And you don't want that. So I always say, if you're drinking outside and you're driving stuff, stay where you are, fall asleep in your car in the back seat, and just wait until the next morning.
Yep. Logic over emotions.
Yes.
Okay. Logic will always win against emotions.
Yeah.
Period. Anything last words you have to say now, Ron, before we close out?
Don't make fun of Will Smith's wife. That's first and foremost.
Hey, yeah.
Wow.
Lessons to live by.
The joke isn't always worth it, right? You really think before what you say. You really think before you say something for the sake of a laugh, because unless you're a professional comedian, and even if you are a professional comedian like Chris Rock, the words you say can and probably will fall on deaf and sensitive ears.
You can always hurt some
So, think before you speak, and what?
Your thing went out for a minute. The way how you was looking, talking, just hilarious.
Right? Your thing, like someone called you, your thing went out, and then as soon as you rejected it, it came back in. That's the fun.
It's just like your mouth is just like.
This is the downside of doing a podcast on your phone. What happens when you get a phone call?
You just saw your mouth like this. I was like, what are you saying?
Well, what can I say? I'm poor. The point I'm trying to make is think before you speak. Think before you speak.
Yeah.
We are all a work in progress.
Yeah.
Period.
But let's not use that as an excuse also all the time.
Yep. Consequences.
Basically.
Consequences.
All right, y'all.
Consequences.
That's it. That's gonna be the title. Consequences.
Consequences.
That's it. Honestly, that's what you need to put down.
That's it.
That's
What
it.
it is.
All letters.
All right, y'all. We out of here.
All right, guys.
Consequences.
Have a good night.
All right.